Well, it doesn't have GPS, but if you're in the same vicinity as the mod, you could find it. Alrighty, let's go. So here's the packaging. This Vandyvape Swell Kit comes in from Tony B and of course Vandyvape. And I tell you, for sample packaging, it is good looking. If we go back to the top, check this out. You got like these little swell symbols kind of engraved into the box, and I'm digging the black and the gold, man. Of course, inside that beautiful sample packaging, you're going to receive your Swell Mod. Comes with a USB cable to charge that biznatch. Also included is the Swell sub-ohm tank. You get an additional bubble glass tube, an extra mesh coil head, some extra O-rings for that tank, and last but certainly not least comes with a user guide, a warranty card, a battery warning card, an app informational card, and a quality control card. As you guys can see, I got 3 of these mods right now with 3 different panels, 3 color panels, but they got multiple other color options, whether you choose G10 panels or resin panels. These are my 3 personal favorites, but like I said, they got other ones, other panels you could choose from. Let me show you. Yeah, boy, check them out. You got all these other color options you could choose from. Here's the G10 panel, a resin, and G10 and G10. Big pro in my opinion that you could choose all these different color options. And I believe they have the panels you could buy separately, or they will at least. And you know it, guys, Vandyvape and Tony B also offers a bunch of drip tip color options to go along with those panels. But yeah, baby, now onto the goody good stuff, the Swell Mod. First of all, she's a dual 18650 mod. You got a panel on one side, panel on the other. This is resin. Again, you could choose the G10. Now, the G10 is going to be way more durable in this resin. But yeah, panel on one side, panel on the other. On this side over here, you got the fire button, the mini screen, the watch up, watch down buttons, and the USB port. And here's a close-up view for you. Really digging the fire button. Like how it protrudes. It's nice, clicky, and tactile. The watch up, watch down buttons are even more clicky in the fire button. Same thing, they protrude, look the same. Very matchy going on. And again, there's the mini screen, which we're going to get into in a second. Oh yeah, the USB port, like I said before, down here. And yes, it is centered. With any vape device out there, you always want to make sure the USB port's centered from the get-go. Some of these companies, man, have the USB port that's off-centered, but this is centered. Everything top-notch. At the top, you got your 510 connection, gold plate, spring-loaded 510 pin, stainless steel threads. It says Swell over here, like the Swell logo, man. I think it's really catchy. And then over here on the side says Vandyvape, man. It's really clean. I like the logo. Some of you vapors out there may not like it. You may think it's overkill. Actually, it probably would have been better to me if it were Swell. If you had the Swell logo and then the wave. But the way it is now, it's like the Pulse 80, Pulse 90. It looks good. Oh yeah, at the bottom, what does it say? Manufactured by Vandyvape, Tony B Project. And you got a couple vent holes over here for battery venting. Now, in order to pop open the battery door, what you got to do is get your thumbnail in here and it just whoop, pops right open. Same thing on the other side. And as you guys can see, I'm rocking the Home Life batteries today. But yeah, inside there at the top, it says Vandy chip. Chipping this is awesome. And in order to get the batteries out, what you gotta do is just push them out. And if we pull it back, here's what she looks like without the batteries or the doors on there. And I gotta say, this is probably the lightest dual 18650 battery mod I've ever held. Without the batteries in there. Batteries add a lot of weight. They should make one of these with a built-in battery. But I know most of you vapors out there want your dual 18650s. You wanna be able to pull the batteries out and charge them, and that's cool. But yeah, buddy, nice and clean in there. Got your battery markers. And what I love about this mod, first of all, super durable. Like I said, this plastic, it's going to last and last and last. Guarantee it. Never thought a plastic mod like this would be this durable, but it is. And another thing about this, she is waterproof, fully waterproof. The chip that's in this, completely sealed. Ain't no water getting in this chip, even with the USB port exposed. You get water in there, it doesn't matter. You just want to make sure you blow that water out before you insert your USB cable. Fully waterproof. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pop my batteries in there, and I want to point this out. Batteries are not included for this. You got to buy them separately. And another thing I want to point out, because it's got this little barrier back here, you don't have to worry about the batteries poking through. You want to pop it in from this direction, but it's so easy. You just pop those bad boys in like you guys just saw, because again, that barrier, it's not going to be flopping out on the other end. And here's what the back of the panel looks like. Everything's nice and clean, but yeah, it pops on like so. It's magnetic, and it press fits too. Perfect tolerances, whether you choose the resin or the G10. Yeah, boy, damn good looking mod, right? I mean, I just love every line about this. I like how it slants right here. Tony B thought about every nook and cranny for this bad boy, the way it looks, even the way it vapes. This is my favorite G10 panel, and the resin one I just showed you are my 2 favorites. But I gotta point out, with this G10 panel, it's kind of a bitch getting out. They fit a lot tighter in the resin. Get my fingernail in here, I mean, it is a lot tighter. That may be a pro to some of you guys, that may be a con. It all depends on what you're looking for. Again, with this resin, it's just so easy. You just pop it up like that. With the other one, the G10, it ain't that easy. But it still fits damn good, even with the resin. No issues popping out. It almost feels like the resin magnets are weaker than the G10 magnets. So 5 clicks, the fire button turns her on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this screen right here, boys and girls, is super duper bright. Now, it doesn't seem bright now, but it's because I dimmed it all the way down. If we hold down the watch up, watch down buttons, it takes us into more settings. And if we scroll down, here's brightness. Look at that, all the way down, but watch. Look how bright that mother chucker is. Yeah, buddy, man, super duper bright. Big pro. One of the brightest screens I've seen on a mod to date. And it's because there's no tint, and there's also no protectant. We'll get into that. There should be some sort of a clear protectant, but I don't think this has it because it scratches easy. Again, we're going to get into that in a second. But as you guys can see, you got the dual battery gauge, you got the wattage, got the resistance, got the volts, got the puffs, and got the time. And if we hit this wattage up button, it's going to scroll up. Goes all the way up to 188 watts. It does not round robin. That's another one. Vandyvape, come on. Every other mod out there just about round robins. Vandyvape, get with it. But that being said, I'm digging this chip, man. Again, to get into more settings, what you gotta do is hold down the wattage up, wattage down button down at the same time, and boom, you can scroll. You got a bunch of different settings. And one thing I like about it, when you go into the settings and we scroll, if I get down to the bottom and I hit the down button, it just scrolls right back up on its own. It's almost like automatic. But if we go to this one right here at the fire button, you got TC, you got voltage, you got bypass, you got firmware, you got ARR, you got the app, which I've turned on. All these right now are turned on except the bypass. And that's another thing that's really cool about this. Oh yeah, you got an exit. But yeah, you can go to app, we can turn that off. We can go to ARR, turn it off. Firmware update, turn it off. BP, we can turn it on. Volts, turn it off. TC, turn it off. And it shows the wattage, 1, 2, 3. And then bypass, which is basically mechanical mod mode. But yeah, I turned everything else off except, like I said, bypass and wattage. Wattage always stays on. Again, freaking cool that you can turn on and off all these features. I've never seen another mod from other manufacturers have that option. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn TC on. I'm gonna turn voltage on, firmware, app. We'll get into the app in a second, which is cool. Go to exit, check this out. 3 clicks the fire button, 1, 2, 3, and we can adjust through all the settings. So you got voltage, you got TC stainless, TC nickel, TC titanium, back to wattage. If we go back to settings, we can scroll down. This is screen timeout, I believe. Yeah, right now it's on 10 minutes. Goes all the way to 30 minutes. It does not round robin, which, I mean, I don't get it. They should have that feature. Again, I don't care for all these options, but it's good for those of you vapors that want them. If we go down from there, we got brightness, which I already showed you. That has a brightness option that actually works. Big pro. Down from there, if we hit that, you can reset the puffs. Get different color options. So if we scroll down here, there it is. Like I said, you got a bunch of other color options too. I like the first one the best, to be honest with you. If you scroll down here, shows you the version. And you got RST, factory reset, and then exit. Pretty simple dimple, guys. So if you want to be able to use the app, aka mod locator, let me show you how to do it. You got to go back into the settings, scroll down, go to app, turn her on. Oh yeah, you got to download the app too, which is on Vandyvape site. Once you download the app, then you got to grab your phone. Go ahead and hit this Vandyvape app. And there she is. And we can scroll. Now if we go back, hit this button right here, and then turn this button on. It turns green. Check this out. Hit Find My Device. Click down here where it says click to play sound, and your mod's gonna beep. That's a locator for you guys. How cool is that? And you can set how long it lasts. So right now we're set to 1 minute, but if we go to, let's see, 15 minutes. You can make this thing beep for 15 minutes. I'll tell you what would have been really cool for this if they had a GPS. That way if someone stole this device or if you left it somewhere and you forgot, you could find it. But this is pretty cool. It's a good start. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But hey, I want to show you this, okay? If you don't have anything screwed on here and you hit this fire button, it's going to say warning, check atomizer. To lock this device, you got to hold down the fire button, the wattage up button down at the same time. And when you lock it, you can still fire it up, but you can't adjust the wattage. Obviously, you're going to do the same thing to unlock it. And now we can adjust the wattage. And another thing I got to point out about this mod, you see the screen, those scratches? That was done by the sound key tool. I just wanted to show you how easy it is to scratch the screen. Super duper easy. And it's because there's no protector on there. Look at that. Now, because there's no protector, the screen's really bright, which is a big pro. But at the same time, you could easily scratch it like you guys see right now. So you got to be careful with the screen. Yeah, buddy, yeah. So here's the Swell Kit all assembled. Looks good if you ask me. But hey, all this is subjective. I'm always going to point that out. Again, this is a 24mm tank, and she's fitting good. Obviously, it's meant for it. That being said, let's go ahead and vape this puppy chucker, shall we? Juice I got in this Jackaroo, or I mean the Swell. Juice I got in here is something called blueberry custard. I haven't been able to get away from it for the last 2 weeks. Either blueberry custard, rainbow nuggets, or transmission. But today I'm rocking some blueberry custard, and it is sick. Ooh, buddy, it is good. And you can get that on over at Vape Trick. This blueberry custard, get on over at Vape Trick. Use code VIP, capital V, capital I, capital P, and get 10% off of it. But yeah, buddy, got me some of this blueberry custard in here. Got the airflow wide open. Oh yeah, I'm vapor at 65 watts. And the coil that I'm rocking in here is the triple mesh. You know, let's go.